Public Affairs Broadcasting. Special programming from Rockingham County Radio, rcrlive.com. WLOE Eden, WMYN Mandan. Listen online all the time. RockinghamCountyRadio.com.
Welcome to Community Accents. I'm Kim Pryor, Director of Public Information at Rockingham Community College. We believe that no matter where you are in your educational journey, we can help you establish goals and meet them. At Rockingham Community College, you can start local and go far. Thank you for joining us today for Community Accents. I have with me Dr. Tony Gunn, who is our Associate Vice President for Administrative Services, and RCC's President, Dr. Mark Kinlaw. And we're going to talk today about construction on campus and renovations and repairs and all those things that go along with a campus that's almost 266 acres with 18 buildings. So there's always something to be done. And Dr. Gunn, that's a big part of your job, is working with our maintenance, our facilities, and grants on top of that. So tell me a little bit about your job and your role here at the college.
Okay. Well, it is a big job, and we have a small staff, but they're a good staff. They really do a great job of taking care of our campus. And as you mentioned, we do have 266 acres. We try to maintain about a third of that. The rest of it is wooded and undeveloped, which gives us some great room for expansion. We also have a nature trail through that we try to maintain as well. So there's a lot to do. We've got a lot going on. Because we do have a small staff, we depend a lot on local vendors, local contractors, local electricians, plumbers, those skilled trades individuals that help us maintain this campus. And I guess our general philosophy is we want the campus to be a safe place and to be a welcoming place, to be attractive. And within the restraints of our staff and our budget, that's what we try to do.
Well, I know there's been a lot of things going on around here. We get through the summer months, getting ready for fall semester for our students to come back. I've seen paving, I've seen some sidewalk work, painting, and a lot of that happens every summer. But can you talk to us a little bit about what's happened this year most recently?
Sure. It's been a busy summer. We've gotten a lot accomplished, though. One of our major projects was renovation of the Advanced Technologies building. And with the completion of the Owens building, the renovation there, and the simulated hospital, we've had some space in the Advanced Technologies building. And so we renovated that area. We gave it a fresh look, fresh paint, replaced a lot of the carpeting in the building, replaced just about every light in the building, the overhead lights, and so it's a much fresher, a brighter place. And something that we were glad we were able to do, we used state bond money for that. So you'll recall last year the voters of North Carolina approved a statewide bond referendum. Our share of that was about $6.8 million. We've got great plans for that, but one of the first things we did was renovate the Advanced Tech building.
Well, I know, Dr. Kinlaw, when you made the decision to renovate that building, you must have had a reason to choose that building first on campus. I know we're looking at future renovations for industrial technologies, but tell us a little bit about your thinking with that facility.
Well, I think what we decided was with the opening of the simulated hospital, which of course the grand opening is tomorrow, once all those health science programs which were located in our Advanced Technologies building, once they were moved over to our simulated hospital, that created some space upstairs that we felt like that was not going to be used right away. So it was just a good opportunity. The timing was really good for that. So that was part of the other piece is that we were fortunate this past last October, to be funded for a Title III grant through the Department of Education to really focus on distance education. And so part of that grant is money to upfit rooms for distance education. So we wanted to locate the distance education in the Advanced Technologies building, and so it'll be upstairs as well, which is the same area where a lot of the health science programs were. So we were able to take some of our Title III money and use that to upfit those rooms, and so that was just the timing of all of that was very good. So that was a lot of the logic and the rationale for starting in that building as opposed maybe to somewhere else.
Right. Well, Tony, you're also involved with grants, and Dr. Kinlaw mentioned Title III grants, and I know that we've obtained those grants before, but can you tell me a little bit about what that means to the college and the process that we go through?
Sure. Grants are another source of funds for us, and with funds becoming tighter with the county and particularly with the state, we're finding ourselves having to look more and more towards external sources for funding. And we've been lucky that we've gotten some really good grant opportunities. They've helped us add a second welding lab thanks to a Golden Leaf grant that we got. We got a grant from the Kate B. Reynolds Charitable Trust, and with that we'll be widening and paving our walking track. We'll try to do that this fall. So grants just give us a lot more flexibility. They enable us to maybe shuffle some funds around to use those the best way that we can. And without those grant funds, sometimes we just would not have been able to accomplish what we have. We used a combination of grant funds, some RCC Foundation funds, and a bequest that we got to help resurface our tennis courts this summer. We've got 6 tennis courts out there that were in really bad shape, and we were able to combine a lot of different sources of funds to get those resurfaced. And also, we added a sidewalk there that provides better access for the disabled. So that's been a great project, and we're really starting to focus in that area of campus on having a healthy kind of a recreational area there with the tennis courts, the walking track. We'll be adding a playscape area there as well. So a lot going on, and it's just very close to our baseball field as well.
Well, and those facilities are available for the public, for the county schools to use. So it's not just our students, but it's our community that we want to maintain this property and provide a safe, educational, fun environment. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And, we've always had really close ties with the community, and this is just another way for us to continue that great relationship.
And just let me add that just the fact that we have over 3 miles of trails in place, we had already, through Tony's work, had the tennis courts, we had the financing for it already in place. And so that helped us get the Kate B. Reynolds grant, because then we could package all of that into and the fact that we were a Healthy Initiatives college anyway, but we were able to package all of that together for an expanded role with Kate B. Reynolds, with the playscape that Tony mentioned, and also with the soccer field and the track and so forth, so we could put all of that together. So it just worked out really nice.
Well, that will be a great addition to our campus for us, our students, and the community. So.
Will be.
We met the grand openings tomorrow for the simulated hospital. It's been a long road. Who wants to go first? It's a beautiful facility. Tell us about what that means to our campus and our students and our community.
Well, I'll take a shot at it first, but I'm certainly going to defer some of this over to Tony, because he's done so much work with this and really deserves a heck of a lot of credit for what's going to happen tomorrow. But before I even arrived on campus back in January of 2015, this project was well underway. In fact, the whole building had been gutted and the work had started. But I'll talk a little bit about what I think it's going to mean for us. But it's being able to do simulation in the health sciences is just advanced technology, and it's where we need to be. I believe that it will go a long way with attracting more students into the health science programs, which is what we want to be able to do to help our allied health employers in our county and also in this region of the state. So I think it will advance what we can do and how we can train students, because the way this thing will work is we can truly simulate a hospital setting. So with our programs with nursing and practical nursing, respiratory therapy, certified nurse assistant, phlebotomy, and I believe emergency medical services, when you put all of those together in a hospital setting, they work as a team. And so we can simulate all of that through creating different scenarios that as the ambulance brings the patient into our ambulance bay, then they can be processed all the way from that point to admission. And we can simulate all of that through the various scenarios that we can create. And that has students working in a team So what we can do from just a healthcare training perspective is just much more advanced, and I think students will find it to be a place where they would want to be, and then we should be able to place students as graduates out in the field that are better prepared than ever before. So I think that's what it means for us, and we're obviously very happy to be able to provide healthcare service at a higher level, and I think that's what it's all about.
Well, and we started with a building that we used as a human services building, named after a former president, Jerry Owens, and now we have a health sciences facility. That had to be a mighty big transformation that you led the way through, Tony. Could you tell us a little bit about that renovation project?
Well, it's a great example of how we take the resources that we have here on campus, the facilities that we have, and transform them to a better purpose, if you will. The Owens building was constructed in 1995 and included a child development center, a center for senior citizens, and labs and classrooms for health sciences programs and our early childhood program. As the years went on, we developed some space in that building. We had a vision at one point of building a health sciences building, but gosh, the cost of that would have been $25 million, and we kind of knew those funds were just not available. And so we looked then at renovating spaces that we had, and we looked at the Owens building, and that seemed like a great opportunity there. And so we conducted a fundraising campaign led by Gay Clifton and worked with the RCC Foundation, and we were very fortunate there to raise the funds that we needed. We had a significant contribution by the Reedsville Area Foundation. That enabled us to really go from a 3-phase project to a 2-phase project. And then once we started, we realized we need to go ahead and just do this in 1 phase. It was difficult to have construction going on while you still had people in the building.
Right.
And so we went ahead and just did it all at one time, and that worked out really well.
And the beauty about this is truly a county initiative, and it just brings together all the partners of the county to make it happen. And I think that's really the neat thing about all of this is it happened right here in our county. It just shows that what can happen when you bring all the different partners in a county together, what you can really do.
And that's a great thing. And I do have to brag on RCC a little bit. We're pretty good at bringing the partners to the table. We have a lot of support in the county, and we appreciate that as well.
Absolutely.
I know that there are lots more things to come in renovations on campus. I know that we're continuing to look at the Whitcomb Student Center and also the Industrial Technologies Building. Would you gentlemen share with me a little bit about those projects?
Well, for the Student Center, that's a project, a building that we've had our eye on for several years. The building was built in the early 1970s. We've done minor renovations through the years, but nothing like a huge facelift that the building really needs. And so we approached the foundation, I guess about a year and a half ago for some funds to renovate that building, and they initially gave us $250,000. And then when we started taking a closer look at what we wanted to do, we realized that this was a great opportunity. We really had other needs in that building to take care of. And so we went back to the foundation and said, we have some other needs here. Can you find some more money for us? And they were able to come back and give us $750,000. So with that, we've kind of renewed our efforts with our architects that we selected, and we're now in the middle of design. Hopefully we can go out for bids on that project next spring, probably late next spring, early next summer, get the work started late summer. It's probably going to be another year from that by the time we get finished. But with that, we're looking not just with new painting, new carpeting, but also moving some people around, moving some functions around to give us just a better use of that building. The student lounge we want to redo. We want to make the building a lot more attractive, a lot more welcoming to people, and have it work better.
Well, and particularly for our students, they need a place where they can be advised and purchase their books and have something to eat and even relax and study a little bit. So that'll be a great addition to the campus. And then I know the industrial technologies facility, the use of our bond money is what the plans are for that facility.
Yeah, that's where we've identified our number one priority for our bond projects are our industrial technology 1 and 2 buildings. I think one was built in the late 1960s and one in the late 1970s, and those 2 buildings house the programs that serve major industry here, from welding to industrial systems to electronics engineering and air conditioning, heating, refrigeration. Those types of programs are critical if we're going to help particularly large industry in the county to flourish and be able to expand and to be successful, and to work with the county's economic development team to be able to recruit new industry to the area. We've got to be able to show that we can provide the kind of training that they're looking for. So with that said, we need to look like a manufacturing facility does. And if you haven't been out to any of our county's manufacturing sites, I would encourage people to do that, because they are very high-tech, clean environments now. And so we've got to mirror that in how we train our students. And so we're excited about what that can do for us. So I would say probably in a year and a half from now, we'll be able to start that project. And when we finish, we certainly will look a lot better. But the key to it is being able to attract students into that field, be able to train them at a high level, and then place them in jobs where they can stay in the county and help support our industry. So that was our number one priority. Is once the bond was passed by the voters, and we're looking forward to that one. That'll really put those programs in a better position.
Well, and we're very grateful the voters supported that effort, but we are also very grateful to our county government, our county commissioners, and the foundation. I've heard those come up right often in conversations. Tell us a little bit about how supportive these groups are of the college.
Well, our commissioners historically, and of course Tony can speak to this even better than me because I haven't been here but a year and a half now, but our commissioners have been very supportive of us, and we cannot thank them enough for the money that they've given us over the years. If you go back in the last several years and look at what they've given us, it's been very consistent. And this is happening during very tight budget times. We know they have other things they have to support in the county, but they've been very consistent in their support of us, not only with their money, but just with their thankfulness to us for what we do, and we appreciate that. I mean, they say things quite often publicly in support of us, and we really appreciate that. But the relationship between this college and our commissioners is fantastic, and that's not always the case everywhere, but it's very good here. So we're very thankful for what they do, and of course they provide funds that help us maintain the facilities we have, and that will be part of what they'll do for the simulated hospital and the new renovations. They'll help with the utility bills and our maintenance crew and so forth. So we're thankful for what they do, and the foundation has just been tremendous here. It's one of the things that I've been asked recently, what's been one of your biggest surprises here? Well, the foundation is one of the biggest surprises, that you can take a county that has struggled economically, but our foundation has flourished. Now, people like Gay Clifton and now Cindy Sarwey and others, and all of our volunteers for our foundation, we have a tremendous number of volunteers across the county that help us raise money. And they do a great job and commit a lot of hours, but we have a fantastic foundation. And because of that, we can do things like renovating our student center, and they support a lot of other campus projects on some of the things they've done has helped with our security on campus, and that's been incredibly helpful. But because of their success, we can do some things that a lot of rural community colleges can't do.
I want to go back and just reiterate the great relationship that we have with our county commissioners, and just to give you an example of that support. Last year, the county appropriated $400,000 to us out of their fund balance for us to make repairs to our sidewalks and to do a lot of paving on campus. And if it hadn't been for that, our sidewalks, our parking lots would be in worse shape than they are now. We need more money. I think we figured we probably needed over $1 million to really get our parking lots and our sidewalks in shape. But certainly that appropriation helped us. So we're very appreciative of that. And the campus is looking better because of it.
Well, and we would encourage our viewers to come out and take a look at campus. Most any time, give us a call. We'll be happy to arrange a tour of the campus and our facilities for you. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today with Community Accents. I'm Kim Pryor, Rockingham Community College Public Information Director. Remember, at RCC, you'll start local, but you can go far.